Army Cadets of PMA Siklablaya Class of 2025.
Thank you, sir. At this juncture, we will hear the message of our Superintendent PMA, Vice Admiral Cesar Bernard and Valencia, Philippine Navy.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the members of the press corps who are here to be part of this kapihan, the traditional kapihan for the graduating class of 2025. The kapihan sa PMA 2025 is the start of the celebration of the graduation ceremonies and activities related to the graduation ceremonies of class of 2025, which will eventually culminate on 17 May for their graduation activities, where the President will be attending. Now, the class of 2025 we're very proud of our class of 2025. This is a very resilient class. Out of the 35,200 who took the examination, only 19,000 passed. And out of that 19,000, only 350 were appointed to this particular class. Now, there are a lot of, as I said earlier, this particular class is a class of resilience and of grit. I would like to give the example of our number one cadet, Cadet First Class Tikara. Now, Cadet First Class Tikara came from very humble beginnings. His father is a PWD. His mother is a mentor in Quezon City. But yet, he is one of 4 summa cum laude in the entire history of the armed forces, in the entire history of the and he has attained the highest grade point average ever in the history of PMA. Let's take the example of of the number 2 class, the number 2 rank cadet, First Class Zabala. Now, Cadet First Class Zabala was not the original class of 2025. He was an original member of class of 2023. He had to take a medical leave because he had sustained an injury related to his training. But despite all of that, he still ranked number 2. Again, Cadet First Class Bernabé, our Baron. He took in his first day at the entrance exam, he failed. Actually, it took him 3 times for him to take the entrance exam to eventually enter the unit. Yet, despite all of that, he became the regimental commander, the cadet first captain, the highest ranked cadet in the Philippine Military Academy. So this class itself is making history. For this particular class, 1 is a summa cum laude, 4 are magna cum laude, and 6 are cum laude graduates. And for this year, we are starting to expose our cadets to the international arena. Just recently, Cadet First Class Sinados was given an award for the best paper in Palermo, in Italy, where he presented his paper in the International Forum for Peace, Security, and Prosperity. She was joined by Cadet First Class Basigay, Bajola, and Bernabé. This is also the first time that this part of the PMA sent a team to Sandhurst, West Point to compete in the very prestigious Sandhurst competition, where there were an international competition among military academies, not just for the United States but worldwide. We also sent cadets to both Italy and India to participate in the International Sailing Regatta, where we did creditably well. So all of this is also the first class where we had a joint field training exercise. This is the first class that the entire PMA class went to Pag-asa Island. Went to Pag-asa and for them to assess and look into what their job would be in the future. And from Pag-asa Island, they went back to Baguio, having a joint field training exercise. Again, this is the first time that we're having a joint field training exercise, because before, these are all single or service-centered FTX, meaning the Army practice themselves, the Navy practice themselves, and the Air Force have their own field training exercise. This is the first time that we're having a joint field training exercise. So why are we doing this? We are doing this to improve our academy. We are having a joint mindset. And all of these are related to the accomplishment of our comprehensive archipelagic defense concept. Now, as we look into the accolades given to the class of 2025, we now look into the future for class beginning next year. Beginning next year, we will be introducing a new and enhanced curriculum, where this particular curriculum will focus on the technology proficiency in defense. We will be introducing new subjects as cyber warfare, artificial intelligence, asymmetric warfare, and drone warfare. We will also be making sure that our strategic and that our curriculum will be in accordance with our strategic and operational readiness, and it will have an interdisciplinary approach to defense studies, but it's also aligned with the national defense strategies. But while we make enhancements to our curriculum, there is always this particular trait that all PMA graduates have. We all make sure that all our graduates, this particular class, instilling you the concept of the warrior ethos. They will be resilient. They will be strong mentally and psychologically. And this is what we teach them how to be grit, teach them about grit, and more importantly about resilience. And this is one of the characteristics of PMA class of 2025. Again, on behalf of Team PMA, I would like to thank the press corps for being here. And of course, I would like to congratulate the members of PMA class of 2025. You have done very, very well. And rest assured that the Team PMA, not just Team PMA, but the entire armed forces is very proud of all of you. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, sir, for that message. Cadets, you may now take your seats. At this point, we will now proceed with the open forum. And again, to our friends and partners from the media, let me remind you again in our ground rules, each of us is entitled for one question and one follow-up. Just raise your hand and wait to be recognized, and then we proceed in front. We have a microphone here. And then you may direct your questions to our leadership here, to the superintendent, to our commandant of cadets, to our dean of academics, and to the cadets. So, again, the floor is now open for any questions coming from our friends from the media. Ma'am?
Morning, I'm Lisa from the Philippine News Agency. I'd like to ask Cadet Car. Yes, you were described a while ago as someone who is very resilient, who comes from a family who that experienced a lot of challenges in life. Can you describe to us how your childhood went, that you still were able to enter the academy, pass the entrance process or the screening process of the academy, and achieved a lot in terms of academics?
Good morning, Ma'am. I'm Cadet First Class Jesse Junior Arte Carter in the Philippine Army. So, I came from a not well-off family, and it came to a point that I need to be the one to make a way for me to support my study. And before entering the academy, I have no prior knowledge in military. So the challenge that I face upon entering is the transition in which I changed my carefree civilian life into the military world. And also, the most challenging part of my life before entering the academy is the financial constraint that my family, my mother sells ball pen and envelope in the Quezon City, while my father got hospitalized and became a PWD, cannot continue working anymore, and it's still recovering until now. That became my motivation to become what I am today, and I hope that inspires a lot of people. Thank you.
Follow up. Do you think that your challenging childhood and challenging life would make you a good soldier of the Armed Forces of the Philippines?
To answer the question, each cadet came from a different background of their families. And I believe that the Academy has its own holistic approach in developing the cadets in different aspects so that each graduate shall possess the character, the broad and basic military skills in order for them to become a competent and principal military officer in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To the core of I'm Frank Simato of Rappler. May I know the previous three summa cum laude graduates?
If I could remember correctly, that's Cadet Cavalier Garla, the class of 85. Cavalier Santiago.
Lea
Santiago, class of 97, and Cavalier Artus of class 2024. Artus with an S, A-R-T-S.
Women. Yeah.
Good morning. I'm Mary Luque from Business Bureau. For our valid summa cum laude, yes. Have you informed your parents? And if so, what was their reaction? And if not, when do you plan to tell them and how?
Honestly, we were just only informed earlier, and this event, the Kapihan sa PMA 2025, will be the announcement to my family. And I plan to tell them the specifics and the details later when I get back to the house.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
For our panel, sir, I noticed that the athletic saber, there's athletic saber for male, athletic saber for female. Meron po bang, is there a difference in the kind of training that they undergo according to the gender?
Wala naman po. All of them undergo the same training. There is no difference in how we train our male cadets and our female cadets. We just so happen we just wanted to acknowledge the tradition na kasi is always the male who gets the receiver. But we would also like to acknowledge the accomplishments of our female cadet who excel in athletics.
For our summa cum laude, and our number one, very admirable cadet.
Yes, ma'am.
What was your biggest motivation, and what is the dream for the family, or what do you plan to do right after graduation?
Yes, ma'am. Initially, when I entered the academy, the need to support my family is the biggest motivation I have. due to the financial constraint. However, as I progress in the academy, I discovered deeper calling, and that is to serve our country. I believe that I realized that the training I had and my capabilities are essential in the armed forces and securing our nation. And for my plans, to my family, and I would incline that to my mission, and that is to protect the people of the country and give them a safe and secure environment in our country.
Are you the eldest?
I am the youngest out of 3 siblings.
Thank you.
Morning, Mia Magdalena Faulkner from Raptor. I'd like to ask any of the cadets, you already had early voting, right? So, did your exposure to the Pag-asa Islands, your joint exposure, have any effect on how you cast, how you voted early on? Anyone can answer from the cadets.
Morning, ma'am. First class wala journey to Philippine Army. So, I believe there are a lot of factors when we vote. I believe there are a lot of things that we should weigh in. And yes, surely some of these exposures could affect us when we make our decision when we vote. But I'd like to emphasize that here in the academy, we're trained and it's inculcated onto us that we are a non-partisan organization in which it is, regardless of who is the political body leading the country or in the position, we're still capable of doing the best of our capabilities to serve the country and the nation.
Would anyone else like to share? Thank you. To the Academy. Sirs, speaking on the new curriculum, could you give us more details regarding that and all the areas that you said you will be including?
I will give a partial answer, but then I let my Dean of Academics and my faculty to give you more details. The first thing that we did was that it is an answer or a call to what the President said during the last graduation. He said in that particular graduation that our cadets or PMA should be able to train our cadets for 21st century skills for critical analysis. Then second thing, what we are also taking off of what the Secretary of National Defense said, that our armed forces should be a multi-domain force, meaning not just focused on the traditional air, ground, and sea forces. So that's what we did. We took a deep dive on what we think, what we need to improve on, and our members of my staff did a terrific job. We consulted a lot of people, and so one of the highlights of this particular curriculum is that we will now be delving into cyber warfare. We will now be delving into artificial intelligence, drone warfare, and asymmetric warfare. On the case of tactic group naman, instead of just obtaining enhancement of physical fitness skills and the basic skills of the cadets, we are, for example, for the Army, they will now be having combined arms training, not just for platoon or infantry training, but combined arms. And then our officers from the Navy will have more undersea warfare training, and as well as the Air Force. So this, in a gist, is what we have done. Also, we are modifying our clubs. We made sure that our clubs are directly related to the enhancement of our training of our female cadets. So for this year, we will be introducing electronics for Navy electronic warfare club, more on e-games. We will be introducing e-games, but but with a focus on strategy and tactics. Strategy, hindi lang yung traditional na yung e-games. Also, we have contacted our counterparts sa US and Annapolis and the West Point, and we will be having online competition. So our cadets will now be competing against their counterparts in West Point and Annapolis, but on strategy and tactics. Pero ang ginagamit namin is a commercial off-the-shelf na mga software. So that is in just what we're doing right now. We're making sure that our clubs are directly contributing to the education and training of our cadets. We are enhancing our academic program to reflect the changing geopolitical environment. And of course, the tactics naman, yung military skills now are geared towards modern warfare.
Thematic talaga siya. Clubs to ACADS. Any additional information?
Good morning po. In terms of the academic program, which is under academic, as mentioned po by the superintendent, we have through the body that comprise the curriculum committee. By the way, the curriculum committee is comprised of the representatives from the academic group and tactics group. Because we have the different departments. The academic group have 7 departments and teaching departments, and the tactics group have their 6 teaching departments. So with that, as mentioned, we're now moving on to the future-proofing of the graduates, capacitating them for the, as mentioned, 21st century skills, and mentioned a while ago yung the new programs that will be incorporated, and some are just being strengthened. Some are already existing, and some are to be strengthened. While doing that as well, together with that is the idea that we have to upgrade our teaching methodologies and assessment tools through outcome-based education, student-centered learning, and under a pedagogical approach. We will strengthen further the use of laboratories, innovation labs, and of course the practical exercises. As mentioned, we integrated drones. For the past 2 years, we have already incorporated the robotics, so we will further strengthen that portion and other technology-based education. So that is in terms of the academic program.
That's exciting because you've done so far this year. So we're looking forward to what that's going to be. And to all the cadets, congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am. Any more question? Sir. Sir Vincent from Philippine Daily.
Morning po. Can I clarify some points po muna regarding the curriculum? Would you be developing your own, for example, you need to establish e-games. Are you developing your own programs? Is it something that's that you need to finance also?
Maybe in the medium term, but right now what we like to focus we like to take advantage of the commercial off-the-shelf games that are available. Okay, rather than developing our own.
But you need to develop your own. With that product available.
Yeah, yes, eventually we'll be developing our, but we would like to start small muna. We need to start small, then when we have already achieved a certain level of proficiency, and then our cadets have already been trained how to develop their own software, then you will move on to that.
Tapos the other clarification is with regards to AI. Again, is the AI program for them is something you will develop from the ground up? Your own AI?
Not really. We need to study how AI can help in developing our curriculum. We would like to study also how artificial intelligence and the basics of artificial intelligence. So next year we'll be actually introducing the micro credentials for you to develop certain programming to learn and develop certain programming software. And from there on, we move on. We move on to how we can further develop AI and how we improve the curriculum here.
No, I was thinking kasi about the defense potential. I mean, you may have to teach them hacking, for example, to counter attacks. That's the level of training they will have to undergo.
Yes, eventually will be that's what will be our focus on cyber warfare. In fact, during the end of next year, we're hoping that we'll be having a cyber warfare games. We'll be competing against Guru in other units muna. And then if we develop a maybe against our counterpart academies in foreign academies, where we plan to join the cyber warfare games that the AFP is doing right.
Mahirap po bang development? So I was thinking 4 years, is 4 years enough for something as intricate as cyber tech training?
Ang intention namin is that we give them the basics here at FPB. And then when they have, pag nakuha na yung hindi nila about cyber warfare, different services naman have their own cyber warfare team. So that is where they will be honing their special skills.
Can I go to the main question? Actually, I'm interested more at this for insights when you visited Pagasa. I was told you actually interacted with the community there. Tapos kasama kayo sa Unicol, Chinese presence, you visited. So what insights were you able to develop from that visit? I'd like to ask everyone, whoever is willing to share insights.
I'm Cadet First Class Joanna Marie Sabiray, joining the Philippine Navy. So basically, when we went to Pag-asa Island, it was an eye-opener for us, especially that upon graduation, it will be one of the, environment that we're going to tackle. So as graduating cadets, I see that it's a stepping platform for us to especially assess our maritime environment and also for us to uphold once we graduate the maritime domain awareness as well as how we were going to engage upon strategic and lawful approach in terms of doing our sovereignty. Yes.
Can we go a little further? You spoke to people who were there,
Yes, sir.
Who encountered the Chinese every day. So anong feedback na nakuha niyo from the people there? Are they scared? Are they what sorts of ano experience sila that will probably shape what you intend to do in the future? That defenses area.
So basically, when we went to Pag-asa Island, the environment there was very peaceful. So for us, having engagement with from the people there, we saw that they still very uphold the essence of owning the land itself or the Pag-asa Island itself. So there's really no, I do believe for us who have speak with children, they really don't have that kind of fear, and they have really been supporting the capabilities of our armed forces of the Philippines.
Is it a big community? Like how many people you've encountered?
I think it's a small community. It's less than 100 people when we went there, and we had our engagement with the children.
Children and kids?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. We did outreach program wherein we have interacted with them. So we did a lot of activities. For example, we have taught them on, on reading books in terms of their playing games. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, I believe Cadet Senado Super.
Yes, sir. I am Cadet First Class Senado, sir, the Regimental Civil Military Operations Officer of the Cadet Corps Armed Forces of the Philippines. So, to further discuss our community engagement there were feedbacks that they were worried every day. They were afraid. But because of the military post and the presence of our military personnel in the island, they are somehow motivated and trusting that they are in the safe hands, and that somehow emphasized the realities of the cadets here and our future roles in the armed forces of the Philippines, that we are not just there to actually impose our military duties, but we are also there to inspire the community that we are ready to serve and we are ready to uphold the ideals of our armed forces.
Thank you, sir. Sir, are there any more questions? Sir?
To the superintendent, did you schedule the graduation to avoid campaigning from the...
Hindi naman. That has been done. The schedule has been completed last year. So we're just adhering to the schedule that was crafted last year.
Will the Vice President attend?
I'm not sure, but we have invited her because as part of tradition, we have to invite the Vice President because she gives away this as the Vice Presidential seat.
Are there any more questions?
Sir, listening to the new courses, it seems to be priming cadets on war strategies on the virtual dimension. So are we priming them, and how imminent is war from your intelligence point of view?
Hindi naman po. This is the standard curriculum of all cadets. All our cadets needs to understand war history and theories. So we are just adjusting to the current situation wherein most of the warfare are not in the traditional ground, sea, and air. Because that is the way the geopolitical world operates right now. So we're just adjusting to the current situation.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the question. Okay, sir. Let's make way for last two questions. Okay.
Pabalikan ko si Kalatigar. Nabitin kasi ako kanina. Tawag doon, is your family a member of the Forbes? Or was it ever included in the list of Forbes?
I have not heard any from my parents.
Okay, so how your mother was selling ballpen, and your siblings also went to school. They finished their studies.
Yes, ma'am.
So paano nangyari?
Then my father's working as a taxi driver. However, when I entered the college, my father was hospitalized, and that motivates me to enter the academy to finish my education as well as to support my family in medical fees and other financial matters.
Does it mean that the allowances, or do you call it salary or allowance? Allowance, you share it to your family? Is there a percentage that you give to them?
No. The allowances that I receive is mainly for my training purposes. However, due to to me making way to still have the standard of training in the academy while spending a little amount of money, I can save and share it to my family. In that way, I can help to the family in the financial industry.
You're graduating anytime this May. Are you bringing home savings in hundreds of thousands or whatever?
There's no...
May I answer that?
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, our cadets are allowed in certain circumstances to support their family coming from their pay allowances. We allow that because it's the reality out there. And some of our cadets really save something for their parents. And for this class, the average savings that they will have from their training allowances is from 200 to 300. The specifics, huwag naman natin tanongin.
Yes, ma'am.
Baka,
Sige po.
baka magiging ng ano, not kidding aside. The pay allowances for our cadets is really enough to sustain their training in PMA because there are other attendant requirements for the training. But it does not limit them from supporting their families out of this pay allowances. And hopefully when they graduate, we gain some of this particular savings to support again their siblings, their parents.
Sir, are cadets required to apportion their training salaries and some of them for savings so that they can have something after graduation?
Yes, ma'am. Actually,
It's a requirement, sir.
We require them to invest, to put their pay allowances in the different financial institutions, say for example, Axline. But that is not supposed to be withdrawable within the 4-year time. So they just have to put their money there. I think there's a cap. You can have 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 capital contribution, and they will be able to withdraw that after graduation. So this is enough for them to sustain after graduation.
Sir, if it's okay to ask, how much is the training allowance of our cadets?
It differs ma'am by class, but I cannot say that. I cannot tell you the
An
specifics.
average po.
How much is your? I will let cadets. Who is your finance officer? Ma'am, I will be specific. Cadets Sabal, how much is your monthly allowance? Their allowance is 10,000, and the other cadets, the 4th class is having also a much lower amount on 10,000
Sir, that's per month?
per month.
Per month po. So, paano sila nakakapaglagay ng 10 to 15,000 sa financial institutions kung 10,000 lang naman?
Hindi ba pwede gano'n? May pay allowances kasi sila, may sweldo. So out of this particular pay allowances, you can apportion it and put it in the savings account. The 10,000 is the cash value given to our cadet every month so that they can also have some leeway to purchase training materials. But since the training here is really free, or budget and everything, ginagamit naman nila ito dun sa mga requirements nila to sustain their training. Say for example, they will have a requirement from academic group of producing something, ABP and everything, they can have money. And also to visit Baguio City. And we spend some of it in the business district in Baguio, contributing to the economy of Baguio as well.
Salamat po. Ako siguro, meron bang ikakasal sa ito after graduation?
Kakasal mo?
Mag-aasawa na sa ito?
Wala mang nag-apply, but we are encouraging them not to marry immediately after graduation because the demand of serving our country is much higher at that particular level of service. Pag second lieutenant pa lang sila, especially also if a female graduate bear a child, so it's a challenge for them. So we encourage them to really focus on serving our country for the first 3 to 5 years. But we are not limiting them to fall in love. Just to marry.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, we're now down to the last question for today. Last question. Okay, sirs, ma'am, again, to our friends from the media, thank you very much for attending this activity and palakpakan po natin yung mga cadets po natin. Okay, for more updates with regards to our cadets and to the activities of PMA, standby lang po kayo sa mga press releases ng Public Affairs Office PMA, and please follow and like our Facebook page, Philippine Military Academy Facebook. And at this juncture, sir, may we request, yes, sir.
Again, I'd just like to thank our friends from the media for attending this traditional Kapiyan sa Pili 2025. This, as I said earlier, this jumpstarts the graduation activities which will culminate on the 17th May. Again, I would like to highlight the accomplishments of this particular class. This is a very resilient class. They are very proud of their accomplishments, and I'm sure that they are all looking forward to serving our country in their new roles as second lieutenants and ensign in the armed forces. Again, on behalf of Team PMA, maraming salamat.
Thank you, sir. At this juncture, may we request our Superintendent, Dean of Academics, and our Commandant of Cadets for a photo op, sir.